Okay.
Okay, there we go. All right, so at the top of the hour, I'll be live on TikTok. We'll be live on the business page. I'll be live on my personal page. I'll be live on YouTube. And I'll be live in two groups. 1111 Messages of Hope from Angels. And I'll also be live in my Real Change group. Those are two groups that I haven't been as active in lately. But I know people are still out there and they're still in there and they're watching. I'm still very much healing as well because I went through a 39-month relationship with a narcissistic abuser. He's probably a covert, malignant, narcissistic sociopath.
Right.
And for 5 years post the relationship, I endured the legal abuse and the smear campaign and all of the, I was evicted because a lot of mine was emotional, mental, but especially financial abuse. So is there anything that you want me to not ask you? Because, I want you to feel comfortable.
No, you can
and safe sharing.
You can ask me anything. I'm willing to answer anything.
Okay. How long was your relationship? Because I know yours was pretty physical, correct?
Yes, it was pretty physical. It was 6 months.
6 months. And did you? I'm going to ask you. Probably when you look back, and I never want this to sound as though it blames the victim, but I think that as we look back, there were red flags we ignored. Because, I realize now that my gut was telling me all kinds of things, but I was just making those red flags pink and full steam ahead. So I'll probably ask you, what were maybe some of the red flags that you saw as you look back? And I'd also like to touch on, what does your healing look like now? Who have been some of your biggest supporters, that kind of thing, as you have tried to work your way forward?
As I tried to work my way forward, I would say my counselor has been one of my biggest supporters in all of this. And my friend Raven, she's also been a big supporter. And looking back, I noticed quite a few red flags that I didn't want to see.
Right. Yeah, that was my biggest thing. And I mean, we can't compare our trauma, and yet at the same time, I know for me, I was 50. I was 50 when I met the individual. I had no idea that the person even...
Are you there?
Did you hit the back button?
No, I swear I didn't touch it.
I have some people who hit the back button. It's like, whoa, I bet they hit the back button.
No, all of a sudden it said I was offline. I'm like, hello?
So that's one of the things is that, thinking about the fact that these people even existed. Now, how long had you... So you dated him for 6 months. How long... did you know him prior to, or?
I knew him prior to. My dad and his mom were friends through the divorce because my parents got divorced. And she was with my dad as friends, like helping him through the divorce.
And was he your age?
He was.
He was. Okay. Do you know anything about his background, his upbringing? Was he from a troubled childhood? Anything?
No. His mom was really sweet.
Mm-mm-mm. You wonder, because there's a lot of, theories out there about, hurt people and abusers and especially narcissists and empaths. But for you, it wasn't narcissistic. It was a physically abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure there are, like, basically most abusers, okay, all narcissists are abusers, but not all abusers are narcissistic.
Right.
And, and so, and they may have elements of the mental and the emotional. So for you, it was physical. Was it also mental and emotional, Danae?
It was. When we first started dating, I should have known this as a red flag. He called me fat. He said I needed to lose weight. And yeah, I should have seen it as a red flag.
Now, was he controlling it all about, like, what you would wear, things like that? Because I know that's another sign, but,
he, like, when my friends asked me to hang out or mom wanted me to spend time with family, he would get mad about that, for sure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So where is he now? What has he gone on to do now?
I'm not sure. I know he's been stalking me. He messaged me yesterday, but I didn't reply. I just automatically blocked him. Because it's like, I don't want to talk to you.
Right, absolutely. No contact. I just watched a movie. I think people minimize the stalking behavior of some individuals as though it's just, well, they like you and it's cute, it's this and it's that. But, you get the right stalker and you can really get there was the movie that I watched the other day was it was based on a true story about a young woman who had gone to work for a brand new company, and she had moved away from home and had gone to California, Silicon Valley, and it was like the dream job for her. And she met a guy day one that went out to lunch with her and her new boss, and from that moment on, it was, we're supposed to be together, and he would not leave her alone. And he ended up basically being a mass shooter at the place where she worked. And it kept escalating from, first it was just, some stalking behavior, some annoyance.
Right.
Until finally it was, letters in the mailbox, and I know where your parents live, and I know your sisters, and I know, things about them personally. She even moved. He got her new address. He was, and he was extremely intelligent. And then it was all the driving by and all of the, and he just would not stop. And even when she got the restraining order. So, do you have a restraining order on this guy?
I do have one. I have to renew it.
I think you should, especially if he's still contacting you. Just screenshot that sucker, and you need to extend that because he doesn't sound.
Right.
I always questioned whether the guy I was with, how dangerous maybe he really was.
Right.
But I think they can maybe all rise to the level of being more dangerous than we would suspect or expect.
Right.
Because you never know what will push them over the edge, so to speak. Really. So I would definitely encourage you to extend that. Mine was not extended. And much of the abuse, especially the legal abuse and the just and the guy that I was with, he always used other people to get to me or at me. Whether it be someone new he was with, or through friends or family, people we knew together. It was just odd, when I look back now, like I said, I see lots of red flags. I see my gut was telling me a lot of things that I just didn't understand as abuse at the time.
Right.
So, well, I'm sorry. You're awfully young to have endured such an ordeal, and I know you're still struggling with, you said, complex PTSD and night terrors.
Yes. I should have, another red flag I should have noticed is this was when I still could get out of work early. I didn't have my license at the time. He made me walk all the way to the stop sign. And then I ended up calling my mom. And so when I got home, my gut was telling me, Danae, go through his phone. So I went through his phone. Turns out a girl he was sleeping with before he got with me messaged him. And I started pacing the room back and forth, and he woke up. He's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "You got something to tell me?" And when I confronted him, that's when things started, like him putting his hands on me, choking me out. And then I finally had enough of that. I threw his stuff out on the sidewalk in the rain. And then he's like, "I'm sorry, can we get back together?" Which I was stupid and gave him another chance.
Oh, no, you want to believe that it will change, and of course it doesn't.
And then, so I caught him again. This was at his mom's house. And he's like, "Get in the shower with me." And I waited till I went in the shower with him. And I confronted him in the shower. And he choked me out till I passed out and ended up in the ER.
So how did you finally get away?
Well, long story short, my fiance that I have now, he added me on Snapchat. And he was like, "Hey, sexy." So it was kind of like a cheating because I didn't feel safe telling him it was over because I didn't have any witnesses at the time. So in a way, I cheated on him to get out and into a better situation.
No, I understand. I mean, sometimes you don't really know what to do. I mean, I ended up getting together with a guy that I actually knew before him. And unfortunately, that guy turned out to also have some issues. But at the time, it was a welcomed distraction.
Right.
Crazy.
Right.
Sometimes those rebounds are not what you would like for them to be. But you do what you have to do to try to, get past whatever it is you just went through. And other than trying to go back, you've got to move forward. And sometimes moving forward means moving forward with someone new. So again, that is not to be. It is not to take away from what you've experienced, but although abusers will tell you, "See, she went right with somebody," they
Right.
they play all the games. All right, I'm going to give you a few minutes to collect your thoughts. So I'm going to turn off my camera and my sound. I'm going to let you collect your thoughts for a few moments. I'm going to go live on TikTok in about 5 minutes and get everybody going over there. And I will share. If I share with you, can you get on your TikTok and share it out?
I can.
And then you can, I guess, turn off your TikTok because we'll hear the sound. It'll be echo.
Right.
So if you just want to get on it long enough to share it out, and then, like I said, I'll be live in all the places over here. So I'll give you a couple minutes. If you want to make a quick video on your TikTok that says, "Hey, I'm getting ready to go live," whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. What I'm doing on my phone is I've got the StreamYard up, but I'm just going live on. Now, are you using your phone?
I am.
Okay, because I'm using my phone over here to do this, so that it'll show on TikTok. Because I can't stream to TikTok. I wish I could, but and I can't stream to Instagram, but they don't have those options open. So I'm just using my phone to be live on TikTok by flipping the camera. But when we're initially on, if you'll go to my page, you may be able to share it out, and then you'll have to jump off TikTok. Otherwise, we'll hear ourselves twice.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna just turn off my camera and mute, and I'll give you a couple minutes to collect your thoughts. All right. Great. All right.
Text Jewel and tell her I'm going live on TikTok. It's gonna be in the group, just so you know. Okay.